The air was thick with tension in Willow Creek, a tidy suburban enclave where every lawn was manicured to perfection, and the HOA's iron grip ruled supreme. Karen Miller, the self-appointed queen of the HOA, patrolled the streets like a hawk, her clipboard a scepter of petty power. Her latest target was Ethan Caldwell, a 28-year-old lawyer who had just moved back to his childhood home to care for his ailing mother. Ethan's crime? A single dandelion sprouting defiantly on his front lawn, a violation that Karen deemed worthy of a $500 fine. But this wasn't just about a weed, it was personal. Karen's reign was notorious. She'd fined families for unapproved mailbox colors, issued citations for kids' chalk drawings, and once threatened to foreclose on a widow's home over an unpaid $12 fee. Ethan, however, wasn't just any resident. 3 years prior, he'd represented a group of homeowners in a class action lawsuit against the HOA, exposing their predatory practices and forcing them to pay thousands in damages. Karen didn't recognize him, not yet. To her, he was just another rebel defying her rules. The conflict erupted on a muggy July evening. Ethan, exhausted from a long day at the courthouse, stepped outside to find Karen taping a neon orange violation notice to his door. "You're a disgrace to this community," she snapped, her voice sharp as a blade. Ethan, calm but unyielding, tore the notice down. "You can't fine me for a weed, Karen. This is harassment." Her eyes narrowed, and she pulled out her phone, threatening to call the HOA's private security. Ethan laughed, a low, dangerous sound. "Go ahead. I've dealt with worse than you." The situation spiraled when Karen, emboldened by her authority, produced a taser from her purse, a gift from the HOA board for self-defense. The crowd that had gathered gasped as she aimed it at Ethan, her hand trembling with rage. "Pay the fine or I'll make you," she hissed. Ethan froze, his heart pounding, but his voice stayed steady. "You're making a mistake, Karen. A big one," the neighbors whispered, phones recording, as the scene teetered on the edge of violence. Then came the twist. Mrs. Delaney, the quiet, elderly widow who lived across the street, stepped forward. Known for her meek demeanor, she was the last person anyone expected to intervene. Her voice, frail but resolute, cut through the chaos. "Karen, stop. You don't know who he is." She held up an old newspaper clipping, yellowed and creased, showing Ethan's face alongside the headline. "Local attorney crushes HOA in court." The crowd murmured, realization dawning. Karen's face paled, the taser wavering in her hand. You're that lawyer?" she stammered. Ethan's eyes gleamed with cold satisfaction. "Yeah, Karen, and I'm not done with you yet." He revealed a stack of documents from his briefcase, new complaints from neighbors, evidence of her latest abuses, and a fresh lawsuit with her name on it. The HOA's reign of terror was about to face another reckoning. But in that moment of triumph, tragedy struck. Karen, humiliated and cornered, lunged forward in a blind panic, firing the taser. The prongs hit Ethan square in the chest, and he collapsed, convulsing on the pavement. Screams erupted. Mrs. Delaney dropped her clipping, rushing to Ethan's side. The neighbors surged forward, some restraining Karen, others calling 911. Ethan's mother, frail and heartbroken, appeared at the door, her cries piercing the night. Paramedics arrived, but it was too late. Ethan, the man who'd fought for justice, was gone, his heart unable to withstand the shock. Karen, now sobbing, was led away in handcuffs, her empire of petty fines crumbling in an instant. The aftermath was a bitter pill for Willow Creek. The HOA was dissolved, its assets seized to settle Ethan's lawsuits. Karen faced criminal charges, her name synonymous with shame. Mrs. Delaney, haunted by her role in the tragedy, planted dandelions across her lawn in Ethan's memory, a quiet rebellion against the tyranny she'd once endured. The neighborhood, once united by fear, now grappled with guilt and division. Some saw Ethan as a hero, others blamed him for escalating the conflict. The truth, as always, lay in the messy middle. The wooden community mailbox, now a memorial, bore a simple message in white paint: HOA tyranny or justice, a tale of revenge. It stood as a reminder of the cost of unchecked power and the fragility of justice. Ethan's fight had exposed the rot in Willow Creek, but at a price no one could have foreseen. His mother, left alone, kept his briefcase on the kitchen table, a silent vow to continue his work. What do you think? Where does justice end and vengeance begin? Share your thoughts on right, wrong, and the battles we fight in our communities.